I think we're live now. We're probably live.
What? Where?
Who? Where?
Who are you?
I don't know.
Who's in charge here?
What's happening, buddy?
Oh, I'm tired. Still trying to catch up on jet lag for my trip to Europe.
Europe. Oh my God. You know what? Let's. I guess we should let people know what's going on. Hey everyone.
What are we?
Seriously. I am Al the Geek. This is Captain Xavier. Welcome again to another episode of Get Off My Lawn. It is a 2-hour show where the two of us talk about stuff. But here's the best part. It is a call-in show. You can call in. You can ask us questions. You can make comments. When you call in, you'll have 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, it doesn't matter if you're mid-question or mid-statement, you will be cut off and you will be told to get off our lawn. Before we used to use the Discord, but you'll notice now there will be a phone number flashing up on the screen. Use that with your phone, not your Discord or something else. Or if you got a play phone, you can try, but it's not going to work. Use an actual phone, call in, and you'll get to call in and talk to us. Also, just a reminder, worldfoamalliance.org. If you haven't registered yet, please go register at worldfoamalliance.org. We do random giveaways of t-shirts. And again, the idea for the World Foam Alliance is to build a community where everything related to Nerf can be found there. When people can go find out other people to play with in other groups. But if you don't register, then it's hard to find you now, isn't it? Now, with that said, we do have a special guest later at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, we do have Dr. Flux. Dr. Flux will be joining us at 9 o'clock. We'll talk to him for about 10 minutes, and then we'll open the phone lines again and let you call in and ask him a question. And when I say that, please ask a question for him or for all three of us. Don't call in and say, "Oh, cool, it's Dr. Flux. Hey, Al, can you paint a gun for me?" Yeah, let's not do that.
Try to make him feel welcome.
Exactly. All right, Chelo, where were you, dude?
What? I went to Europe last week. Me and Sergeant Deplorable. We did a whirlwind tour like I did last year, only this time I only did 1 week instead of 2 weeks. And it was a much better idea, and I'm still wiped out by it because I'm an old man. We flew into England. We went and saw the HMS Victory because he and I are both fans of Napoleonic warfare. We both built naval. We did a whole naval arms race. So I built a version of the Victory. We got to go see it in person. It's awesome. We then took a ferry to France, and I got to hang out with Benjamin and his family. He does LARPing. He's got his own property. He's got his own LARP stuff that he's building there, very similar to Afterworlds. Not quite as developed as Afterworlds is yet, but I imagine it will be someday. They do some really cool scenarios. He was talking about post-apocalyptic stuff. They do Wild West stuff. They do Firefly-themed stuff. And they use Nerf blasters as the firearms in all of those LARPs. So that's how they're involved and heard about what I do, and we got to stay there, and that was really cool. We then went on a train, went to Germany, hung out with Sir Scorp, who's the guy who made me this shirt. And several other shirts that I have. I got a bunch of shirts by Sir Scorp. He also does a lot of LARP stuff. He had just gotten back from a LARP that they hosted, and again, they used Nerf for the firearms, so that's why he's into Nerf. We then got on another train, went to Legoland Disney, or not Legoland, Legoland Deutschland, the German Legoland, which was fabulous. We definitely want to go back and spend a whole day there instead of just a couple of hours. And then we went to Switzerland, and we got to meet the guy who created the Pew Pew. We went and we had pizza with him, and that was fun. He was way more chill than I was expecting him to be. It was just fun to hang out with. Very chill guy, very animated, very Swiss. Very, very cool. And then we got on a bunch more trains and made our way to Carcassonne in the south of France. And that's where we spent the last of our time playing the board game Carcassonne all over the city.
The pictures, Captain Xavier showed me those pictures, and that place is just huge and beautiful, man. That's unreal.
Carcassonne is amazing. We got to see some tours and some videos and some stuff on the restoration, which actually started in the 1800s. They started restoring the walls and the keep and all of that. Got it all cleaned out, and now it's a World Heritage Site, and it's the most complete medieval fortification in in the world. It's a doubled walled city, so it's a walled city with 2 walls, an inner wall and an outer wall, and it's just amazing. We didn't stay at a hotel. They were very clear that they were not a hotel. They were a restaurant that rented out rooms. They had 2 or 3 rooms upstairs above the restaurant that they would rent out. And they made a point. They are not a hotel. And I assume that's because either hotels have certain expectations that they don't meet, or there are certain regulations concerning hotels. And so they wanted to make very sure that we knew they were not a hotel. But we had a view of the wall from our window. It was amazing.
So wait, I wanted to get back to that. So what does that mean? We're not a hotel. Does that mean take your bed sheets and go wash them when you're done? Like,
I don't know. They just want to make sure we're not a hotel. You're like, okay, all right.
Don't call us a room service.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like check-in was, hi, I'm looking for the hotel. Yeah, it's upstairs. Here's your room. Goodbye. Never asked for my name. Never asked for a key. They just handed me a key and wished me the best of luck. Said, be out by 10 on Sunday. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, welcome back, brother. It's good to have you back.
It's good to be back. Traveling there, I don't have any jet lag. I stay up the whole trip there and then go to bed at what would be a normal time for me, but there, and then I'm good. Coming back, the jet lag is just brutal. So I was asleep 10 minutes ago, and now I'm here.
Well, we're glad you woke up. If we can sneak in a nap for you, we'll try to do that. But
I set an alarm, and it's a good thing I did, or I would have slept right through this.
Then we would improvise, and I would have seen if Dr. Flux was available earlier, and maybe we would have switched around where you were the special call-in at 9.
That would have been great. If Dr. Flux pretending to be Captain Xavier, me pretending to be Dr. Flux, it would have been excellent.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna put a pin in that one. We will do that. Maybe we'll do it. Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll do it in April for like an April Fool's joke or something.
Yeah, there we go. We'll need to get someone to impersonate both of us.
Love it. So again, I should slight change and update. I will be giving away a blaster again. And if you did see the video, it was a dictator. Things have changed. That dictator has been repurposed for something else. However, I will not renege on giving something away. So what I'm holding is a Dart Zone Max Dictator painted in white. This one is a giveaway, so this will be given away today. To win this today, there will be a catchphrase, which we will be giving to you later. Huh?
That's not a dictator. That's a striker.
Is that what I said?
No.
Yeah, it's a strike. I don't know what I said. This thing, whatever you want to call it. This thing.
The thing in his hands on the screen with the stuff.
This is the thing I'll be giving away. And so again, later on in the show, when we have Dr. Flux on, we will be giving you the catchphrase. You will have to type out the catchphrase in the YouTube chat. It's got to be precise and exactly how we put it out. You can copy and paste it. Like, we're giving you something free, man. Just don't half-ass it. Just do it proper. And then we will randomly select someone that has posted the phrase, and you will win this. The only thing we ask is that in your profile, you actually have some kind of contact information. So that way, when we pick out your name in the chat, we go to your profile page, we can therefore contact you and don't have to deal with 4 or 5 people pretending to be you trying to claim the thing that you actually won. So again, make sure we have a way of contacting you in your profile. This will be given away. The catchphrase will be coming later. Also, remember, we do give away World Foam Alliance merch. So don't forget to register at worldfoamalliance.org. Am I forgetting something?
No, I think that's it. How have you been? What have you been up to? I haven't talked to you in a week.
I know. It's like you've been in Europe or something, man.
Yeah, out of touch. It's weird.
I'm actually good. So tomorrow I'm actually heading up to New York for a couple of reasons. One, I have family there. I'm going to go visit nieces. One of them, you will note, was actually on Get Off My Lawn 2 weeks ago, dressed up as my mercenary, whatever you want to call her, but that was her. So going up to see them. But then also, I have a cousin in Australia who's actually going to be in New York. Well, he's already in New York this week, so I'm going to go see him as well. And then there's the outside chance that I may end up at New York Toy Fair happening this weekend.
awesome.
It should.
Should we? Are there any callers? Should we take a caller? I have no idea if there are any callers lined up at the end.
Well, I think he's got to put up the phone number. So there's the phone number on the screen.
Yeah. There's the phone number: 979-500-2794. Give us a call. We'll answer your question. Tell you to get off our lawn.
I don't know if I'm disappointed that the Zeros aren't making you sunglasses this week like last week.
Yeah, that was great. Oh, there we go. They're moving around. They'll match my shirt even.
Absolutely. So again, while we're getting a caller, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Also, don't forget, if you post a comment, if you post anything on social media, and if you tag us, you will get the opportunity to be the whatchamacallit. What do we call that when someone tags us? And clip of the week, featured, share, tag. Just tag us, and then we'll post it here, and you might win something too.
Clip of the week.
That's it. Clip of the week. So then we got the phone number. Feel free to call in.
Cat is being very noisy.
Oh, really?
He doesn't usually meow this much. Meow.
Was she mad at you that you were gone?
What? Oh, yes. And she has been very noisy since I got back. I think she was hanging out with noisy crowd while I was gone.
Really?
Could have been.
Oh, so let's see. Hey, no, we should check. Let's see if there's a YouTube question while we're waiting for someone to call us.
Yeah. Anybody asking any questions? No.
Oh, there we go.
Somebody wants to know if either of us are going to Ragnar Oktoberfest. I am currently planning to. Yes. I don't believe Al is. Al, are you going to Rag?
I want to, but there's no way I can swing it. So one of these years I will make it forward, but I cannot make it to Rag this year. That's coming up. What? Is that next weekend?
Yeah, no, 2 weeks.
Yeah. I cannot make it to there, but then I'm also planning a different trip at the end of the month to go see this guy about stuff.
Yeah. He's gonna come visit the Pacific Northwest.
That I am. And that'll be at the end of the month. So most likely we're going to do something fun.
Yeah. We got any callers? We got a caller? What's going on?
Nobody wants to ask these questions anymore.
Apparently not. All the questions have been asked. You're going to make a pirate-themed loadout? Yes. I am planning to do... We're planning to go full pirate and go full silly shenanigans and not try to be all tactical and any of that. We plan to be silly. I may have to throw Swamp Cat out or she's going to murder me. Why are you attacking me, madam?
So she gave you a lot of attitude when you got back, or just kind of ignored you?
Oh, yeah. No, she's been attacking me mercilessly.
Really?
Yes.
She's bitter. All right. We have any other questions on YouTube? Oh, yeah, we got a bunch of these.
What do we get? Did you get to play Carcassonne? I answered that. We played it all over the city. We played it on all four sides, northeast, southwest, by all four of the gates. We played it near the Citadel, near the Basilica, and in the middle of a restaurant. Sergeant Deplorable finally managed to beat me in the last game thanks to the last tile. It was beautiful. We had two games that I won by 1 point, so it was really close. One that I won by like 150 points. It was brutal. And a couple that were like by 15, 20 points. He managed to win the last game by, I think, around 15 points, and it was entirely because of the last tile. Made all the difference.
Love it. All right. We have
All
three
right,
callers.
We've got people waiting. Apparently, we've got callers. Somebody ask me a question.
Well, hello. Hello,
Who are you?
Taylor. Hello,
What do you
Al.
want?
It's Fusco. It's Fusco. I figured I'd call and say
Fusco.
hi. You guys seemed like you could use colors. But I did come up with a question that I could ask you also, which is...
Fusco, what's shaking, buddy? Go ahead.
What obscure book, movie, TV show, whatever, do you think would make a good one-off Nerf LARP, but wouldn't make a good recurring series?
Wizards.
Well, I've not done a lot of LARP, but what comes in my mind in terms of not doing recurring is something that where everybody dies. So if you do a Star Wars one where it's a Rogue One recreation, as awesome as it was, everyone's dead in the end anyways.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, something where there is no survival. So Rogue One or Shadows of the Empire, where they get the second Death Star plan, something like that. Similar, something where it's themed to where the players manage to save the world, but only at the expense of themselves. Wizards would still be a fun one, kind of because that's kind of how that one goes. What did you have? You something in mind?
Yeah, what are you thinking, Fusco?
So I didn't have anything particular in mind. The everyone dies thing does feel like it works much better in a one-shot than a recurring game, of course. I hadn't thought of Wizards, but I'm really glad that you showed it to me this year, because now suddenly I'm thinking that would be amazing. I have a second question I can ask you, however, which is, if each of you was the other for a day, what would you do?
I'd get into his armory and be running around, somehow try to figure out how to dual-wield a minigun and a smart gun, and run around outside. Even if it got me arrested, it'd be worth it.
You could do that. Well, the hard part is the smart gun requires two hands to operate. The minigun doesn't. So you'd have to jerry-rig it somehow so that the smart gun is revving. That wouldn't be too difficult. But what would I do? I would make off with his orangest master key.
Actually, that's this one. I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
But it is orange.
Where is it? Show me the thing.
Sling Fire Vagabond. Because it looks cool.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I guess better question. Cool. Fusco, if you got to be Xavier for a day, what would you do?
Oh, it's time right now. Get off my lawn.
Oh, gone.
We got people waiting. Let's get another caller. Come on. We got no time for this.
No dilly-dallying.
No dallying.
Hello.
No dillying.
Hello, this is Boots McGee.
Boots
McGee.
You again.
Boots, what's shaking?
I know, right? All right. I got a question for you. Now, when Nerf does their pitch meetings for different like series lines, what pitch meeting would you want to be a part of? Like in the past, say, oh, they brought this to market. Like, what one would you want to be in the room that having to hear them having to pitch, like the Zombie Strike or something like that?
Zombie Strike was the one I was going to say. I'd love to hear, them going, okay, we have to admit it. Humans versus zombies is a thing. We can't pretend it isn't anymore. What we're going to do.
I would do
the
first
pro
thing
line. I would have liked to have been there for the pro. What?
No, go ahead.
I said I would have liked to have been there for the pro line pitch as well. And all of the meetings where the team was like, "No, you can't make a proprietary magazine. It has to be Talon." Yeah. Al, what about you?
I think the Zombie Strike definitely first one, because that would have been cool. But then I think I would have loved to have been in the Doomlands one because you're already entered in again, just because my whole post-apocalyptic angle on everything.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you have just tapped into something amazing and beautiful because you can make all crazy things and tell them, yes, keep going with that. No, change that. The judge is great, but make it just a bit smaller. Don't do that stupid pistol and do this. I would have loved to have been on that one.
Yeah, I would have liked to have been there for the Zombie Strike just because there's only 1 or 2 blasters in the entire Zombie Strike line that are actually good for HVZ.
Right.
Like the Hammer Shot and the Sling Fire were pretty much it. Most of the rest of the Zombie Strike line just aren't good HVZ blasters, and that's kind of weird. It's like no one actually explained the rules to them.
No, exactly. The Double Strike, the little Derringer pistol.
True. Oh, yeah. That one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And they did do Zombie Strike rough cuts, which were terrible. What?
I was just going to ask about the chainsaw rough cut.
Well, it doesn't actually fire 2 rounds at once, doesn't it? It fires 1 at a time for all 8 rounds. So
I would know, yeah.
And you can't actually hit people with the chainsaw part. So, I mean, it's not like you can actually use it as a melee weapon. So it's a neat gimmick, but it's not actually practical. Which, if you're going to make it
better, yeah.
Specific HVZ line, you'd think you would make it a practical HVZ blaster.
Good point.
But anyway, get off my lawn.
Yes. Well, but that's also a problem with Nerf.
That was a good one.
They don't do,
I like that.
That was a good one. There's a problem with Nerf. Not everything's practical. It's just, well, this looks cool here.
Whatever. Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with having gimmicky blasters. I enjoy gimmicky blasters, and that's kind of why Doomlands is more of a place for let's go hog wild with the gimmicky stuff, and that's, you know, it speaks to you, which is cool. Why haven't you master keyed a judge yet?
Well, I finally got one. Mm-hmm. And so I just got to figure out what to stick that on to make it work.
Yeah. A Centurion, maybe. I think you could master key that on a Centurion.
Let me. Will it fit on a long shot? Let's see.
No, it's just not beefy enough.
What are you talking about?
I'm telling you. Centurion, man.
I hate the Centurion, but okay. Well, look at that. I could do that. I could do that.
You could. That could work.
All right, next caller.
Yeah, let's get another caller on here. We got people waiting.
Hey there, this is John. Number? So I have a quick painting question. I'm going to be painting my first blaster in the next couple of weeks. But I haven't been able to find information about whether I should sand. So specifically, it's going to be a X-shot, long shot. But I'm not sure if I need to sand off all the printing on that blaster or if I can just scuff it up. What's your guys' opinion on that?
So when it comes to painting, a lot of it depends on the primer or what you use for the base coat. So everything you see that I've painted, the only thing I sand on them is when I sand off the logo. Otherwise, the rest of the blaster, I don't even bother scuffing. And part of it is because I use vinyl dye. And the vinyl dye, that stuff sticks to everything super well, super fast, stinks to high heaven, and dries very durable and covers everything. So for me, now I haven't done a long shot X shot, but the vinyl dye covers everything pretty good. The only thing you may want to scuff up are the parts where it's like really orange. That stuff is usually, when I say orange, I mean like, I got one here, 1 second. Like the tip or the barrel, you might want to scuff that up just to see if it gets it to attach that better. But everything else, yeah, no, just go straight with the black vinyl dye and it sticks to it really well, hardens. I've never had a problem with it. So much so that I usually let it at least wait a day before I tape it off and then do my main color. But some days when I'm pressed for time, I've put the vinyl dye on it and 3 hours later taped it out and put the base color on it too. So.
All right, nice.
What he said.
Yeah. Well, so kind of going off the last question, if you guys could have Nerf or Dark Zone in a meeting, what would you pitch for a line of blasters?
Go, Chelo.
I've been in meetings with them. And one of the things that I pitched was a better Hammer Prime blaster. And lo and behold, the Outlaw exists now. Uh-oh.
Amen.
What happened?
Well,
I think if I was in a
hello?
meeting, the big thing I'd pitch, can you hear me? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So
Sorry.
for me, I think it's because you see how much love the Sling Fire got. And modding the Sling Fire with a kit was a nightmare. You had to throw so much steel and so much money at it, yet still people did it. Why? To have that whole Winchester feel. So I am still waiting and hoping that, like example, Dart Zone, one of their next pro blasters will be a whatchamacallit, like a Winchester. A
lever action
blaster.
prime.
Yes, exactly. That is I would love to see.
I would like to see that as well.
I absolutely adore my Sling Fire, and it's always so sad that it's just not the best blaster, and it's so hard to modify.
Yep, I've got a decent one. I've got a metal kit one that hits like 140, so it's not bad. But yeah, I'd love to see a pro level lever blaster. And get off my lawn.
Just a reminder, everyone. So just a reminder before we do any more questions. Again, if you haven't already, go to worldfoamalliance.org. Be sure to register. We need to know who you are. That way you can find other people around you to do what we need to do and do what you need to do. Also, there will be a blaster giveaway. Again, reminder, I did tease a Dictator, but actually it's going to be this one. Max Striker White. This will be given away later on in the show. We will give you a catchphrase, which you have to then put in the chat, in the YouTube chat. And then we have a random program that will select a winner. And when you select the winner, we need to make sure that on your profile, on your YouTube profile, you do have a contact where we can reach you to send you this. So again, this will be given away later. We'll give you the catchphrase. Don't forget to register at worldfoamalliance.org. But then also be sure to find out on, this Thursday. Oh, yeah. So obviously we have other shows also on the YouTube channel. I have The Forge. I don't know if you can see the t-shirt. Yep. The Forge every other Thursday. But then Captain Xavier has a show as well, and I think it's yours that's up this Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah. The next Range episode should be out tomorrow, and it's a fun one. I had a lot of fun filming it, weather notwithstanding. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Dr. Flux will be on later. All that. Do we have another caller? I think we got people waiting. We do.
Let's do another caller.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Hello. Who are you? What do you want?
Oh, this is Brickosaurus 227 YouTube channel. I was just going to ask y'all. This is something I've thought about for a long time. Do you think the Dart Zone pro blasters, especially recently, do you think they have had any impact on the modding community? Because where you could just easily access a blaster now instead of modding it, do you think that has any impact on the modding community at all?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the fact that it's not that it has really affected it, it's given us a better baseline. So once upon a time, we were starting with stock N-Strike blasters and building up from there. Now we're starting with pro blasters and building onto that. It's increased our top level and made building mid-level stuff much easier. And in some cases, you don't even need to, because once upon a time, if you wanted to get to 150 FPS, that required a lot of modding. Now you go to Walmart and you buy a blaster that'll hit 150. Same thing happened when workers started pumping out kits left and right, and you could just buy a kit. And when Out of Darts was making all of the stuff readily available, and now a lot of that stuff's available on Amazon, that has made it easier. It's made it more accessible. And I am absolutely all for that. I am not somebody who thinks that we, harkens back to the days of the NIC when only the best modders could get a blaster above 100 FPS. I'm not about that at all. I'm all about everyone being able to get to be able to play the higher levels, because not everyone has the skills or the tools or the time or the money to be able to mod blasters the old-fashioned way. And so being able to just buy a decent blaster has allowed the hobby to grow way faster than it ever could have before. So, Al, what about you? What has it done for you?
Well, just to play off what you said, the fact that having the readily available, like that you can buy a 150 FPS off the store shelf or off online. What I think the other great thing about that is that it really prevents any niche or like you know what I mean, like any clicks from happening. So example, if you like go to certain clubs or certain times all the time, and let's say you're one of the ones that don't have modified blasters, but there's always a group of guys that do. So you always kind of feel like on the outside because you can never mod what they can. But now that you can go out and buy a high performance blaster, it levels out the playing field where it eliminates even the perception of clicks, because at any point, depending what you have, everyone has somewhat of a same starting point, if you know what I mean. And again, not that people purposely do clicks, it just may be visioned as such.
Yeah. Time's up. Get off my lawn. And a point to something that came up previously about the giveaway.
Oh, they can hear
One way that they can actually get us their information, or that we can get information to contact them, is through registering for the World Foam Alliance. Because you'll have a username that you put in there, and you'll have an email that you put in there. So if in the comments you give us who you are on the World Foam Alliance, that's a way that we can then get a hold of you and and then from there we can get your mailing address and you can get your prize. So join the World Foam Alliance, worldfoamalliance.org. All right, let's take another caller.
Nothing. Like I said, joining the World Foam Alliance, it costs you nothing and it gets you so many things. But yeah, next caller.
Hello, it's James again.
Hey, James.
I'm looking for a
give us
are there any blasters that semi-automatic, fully automatic fire, no burst, that bullpup in our
say that again? Fully automatic bullpup?
A fully automatic, semi-automatic select fire with no burst, magazine fed bullpup.
Unmodded?
No burst.
Yeah, but you want to? Is this something there's nothing like that off the shelf? You're going to have to modify it, but there's lots of ways that you could do that. You can make a select fire Raven easily enough. There's kits for that. You can also, there are kits that'll turn a Strife into a bullpup.
Also, Andy Works recent Modulus build.
Yeah, the Modulus one. That one's also a bullpup, and there are full auto kits for that.
But
I know there's some 3D printed ones.
When you find select fire kits,
what?
They usually include burst, and I don't really want burst in mine because I don't need it. So, are there any that do that?
The Osprey kit for the Nightingale has semi and full. It also does have burst, but you either have to pick semi and full or burst and full, or semi and burst. I don't remember what it is, but you can set it so it doesn't have burst. You then have to make a bullpup kit for that. If you really want, I'm trying to think of any kits that only have semi or full. You might end up having to build your own kit at that point. Build an Arduino to do it.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I can't think of it, but then there is something, and I can't remember the name of it because I know Andrew Dart Sweep had one, but it was more of a pistol, 3D printed, and it was a bullpup. It was only about this big, and I think it was full auto or nothing. I'm not sure, but I can't remember the name of it either. It looked kind of weird.
Oh, yeah. Oh. What is that thing called? The cage fighter?
Might be.
See if there's anyone in the comment section who knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The Moto Blitz is bullpup, but it's not, doesn't have full auto.
So I guess if anyone knows the answer to this question, feel free to put it in the comments. That way James will find it.
Yeah, there you go. If anyone else can think of something, let us know.
All right, should we quickly look at a question in the comments?
Somebody else pointed out that if they were on the World Foam Alliance Discord, they could just give us their Discord handle and we can contact them from there.
Oh, there we go. Boomstick Mods has weighed in. It is the cage fighter. That is correct.
Okay. And does that have semi-auto in full? They've gotten off our lawn at this point.
They are,
go to the
but
comments.
if he's still in there.
Find somebody. I'm coming up with a blank for something that doesn't have burst if it's got semi in full. Other than something customizable. All right, we've still got people waiting, so let's get another caller on here.
Oh, sure, let's do it.
What's the number? 9.
Hey, it's Future Dark.
Who are you? What do you want?
IR emitters.
It's Future Dark.
Hey, Steve, what's going on, buddy?
Yo, Steve.
Hey, I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling. Crazy stuff has been happening, TikTok, all
Sometimes
stuff
it's
has
shiny,
been going on. Glad to join back. My question for today is everyone who joins the Nerf community, obviously, is going to have a bunch of blasters, but everyone never forgets their first. So what is your first blaster?
Stampede. The one that Ayers built out of was my first one.
Mine was a Recon. Sorry, yeah, it was a Recon.
Huh.
Wow. I mean, not bad for a blaster, honestly. I mean,
if you go back far enough, I probably had something back in like 1992 that I don't remember anymore because I was 10 at the time. I know I had the dueling swords. I remember having the Nerf dueling swords back when I still lived in Minnesota, so it had to have been in the early 80s or late 80s, early 90s. And I want to say I had an arrow.
Interesting.
Actually, now that you said hold on. Now I remember.
Sorry.
Hold on. In the 90s, I did have is it called a secret shot? That was also one of the ones where you're pulling behind, but then had the dart that came out the handle.
Yep, the secret shot 2, I think.
And
that
then
was.
I think this is all before I got into it. I think I ended up buying my little cousin's, like that whole, when you could buy the Titan with the 2 other blasters that were attached to it, that whole set.
Yep.
And I'm not sure what year was that came out?
2003, I think.
And I bought it for my cousins, and I think my aunt purposely hid it from them because she didn't want to deal with all the darts.
Might have been 2004. Yeah, it was early 2000s.
Sorry, Steve. Go ahead, buddy. What was your question? The follow-up? What was yours?
Steve?
No, that's good. I remember whenever I was little, I totally forgot. It was like an end strike single shooter that had like a flashlight on the bottom. Totally forgot the name of it. But the one that I remember is that I remember having like this Nerf war with all of my cousins. So we bought like 4 Avenger Force hyper spins, and I just got all 4 of them. So now I just have 4 of them locked in my closet.
Nice.
It could have also been the Fire Strike.
I think that's it. Yeah, the Fire Strike, my first ever blaster.
Fire Strike was in Strike Elite. Yeah.
Ooh.
It was a good one.
I mean, it was yellow, so it was hard to tell, but I was also little, so I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right, I know I'm running out of time, but Philip said he definitely could have come, but he's at a football game right now. I will most definitely call back, so I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, call back when Flux is here. Ask him a question. Get off my lawn. Yeah, that was a good question too. Yeah, I mean, for really getting into the hobby, the Stampede was my first, and an excellent first blaster. But I definitely had the old suction cup dart blasters when I was a kid. The rubber ones. I had a couple of those. All right, I think we've got another caller on the line, so let's get the next caller up here. What's that phone number? It's got a 7979500 something.
2794. Hello, who's this?
What do you want?
This is Eli. I called again. I called in last time.
You did.
And I was wondering, but I guess specifically for the captain, because he lives in the area, are you going to be at the Out of Darts open house this weekend?
I am planning to be there if I am not asleep.
Wonderful.
I think
considering I will be there as well. Would you like to check out the hammer wall that I recently acquired?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
I saw the video you sent. That thing looks amazing.
Yeah, it's super fun. I made a very janky shell catcher for it, so now I can run around and not have to worry about picking up all my plastic I've left on the floor. So
that is the downside to shell-ejecting blasters. The gimmick is fun, but it does make a mess. But having a shell catcher makes a world of difference.
Especially when the shells are the size of like a small Red Bull can, it makes a big mess. Yeah, they're all over the place.
Yeah, stop littering. Come on, man.
I know. I need to pick up my shells.
Release your plastic. Yeah.
That's all you got, Eli.
While I'm here, what is your guys' favorite shell ejecting gimmick blaster? Because I love shell ejecting, and people should talk about it more.
My favorite. There's a couple that I've seen, but I never got my hands on. Like I don't think I've ever handled a Shell-ejecting.
I have a Renfield, the Shell-ejecting, the 3D printed one, previous to the Kirin. If you would like to check that one out, it's in your colors. It's in black and orange as well. If you'd love to check that one out, I can. I
would love to.
Yes. Yeah, I never use it because it's so black that I could never bring it outside. So.
I'm still a fan of the Sludge Fire, honestly.
I love the Spring Thunder.
I regret not buying more shells when they were $3 for $5 from Hasbro.
Yeah.
I should have bought many more.
I remember that. Yeah, I love the Spring Thunder because it's an oversized, huge shotgun, and it just spits a shell out, and I love that thing.
As well. I like that there are a couple other blasters people made that use those same shells. That was the downside of the Sludge Fires. They only blaster that took those shells, and then they came out with the Trilogy or the Trinity or the Triad or whatever it is. I can never remember the name. But there were two blasters that took those shells.
And I believe the new Magic the Gathering blaster is going to be a rebrand. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that one's coming out, which is a neat paint job. All right, get off my lawn. I will see you at Out of Dark thing.
That's right. Just quickly again, don't forget to register worldfoamalliance.org. Again, I will be giving away a blaster later on in the show. You'll be given the catchphrase. Post the catchphrase in the comments. We'll select a random winner. You get to win. Also, in case you have not been paying attention, at 9 o'clock, we will be having Dr. Flux. Dr. Flux is going to come and hang out in the lawn with the rest of us old guys and have some fun. Also, quick shout out. We have Dart Sweep in the audience. And again, just to, if you all haven't known or if you've missed out, make sure to catch out his show, which is the Foam Zone. And that's every other Wednesday. So this Wednesday is Get Off My Lawn. Next Wednesday is Foam Zone. And again, it is a live show. It is more, Andrew actually has a guest where he'll be talking and interviewing someone for about an hour, maybe longer if it gets better. And actually, I think they will have people calling in. So again, Foam Zone. And I can't remember who he's going to have this week coming up, but he's going to post it in the comments now anyways. And then someone will give me crap later for forgetting.
We'll figure it out. Do we have our person lined up for 2 weeks from now?
No. I think we had ideas, but we haven't lined it up yet.
We'll get it lined up. We'll figure something out. All right. We got some more callers. Let's get a caller on here.
Hello. Do y'all allow second call-ins?
Depends. Who are you? And we'll think about it.
What do you want?
It's me, Brigasaurus. I asked the question about Dart Zone blasters last time, a few minutes ago.
Sure,
but
buddy. What do you got?
I am trying to figure out how to take apart a Flip 32, but I'm not sure. Do any of y'all know how to do that?
The what now?
The Flip 32. That's
the
Flip
Flip
isn't that
32. I have not taken apart any of the Flip line blasters. I need to eventually, just because I need to try them for K26, but I've yet to have them show up at Goodwill. I'm surely it's a matter of taking out all the screws, but I imagine finding all the screws are probably the tricky part.
Yeah, because there's like the way it's set up is both parts of the flip mechanism on each side of it's the bigger one, and it's like it's like blocking the shell is blocking the screws basically. So I haven't been able to figure out a way to take it apart without I obviously don't want to break it or anything.
Yeah. You might try posting it on like the World Foam Alliance Discord so you can show pictures of what the issue is. You also could,
yeah, that's probably a good idea.
This is the whole reason I created the whole assembly disassembly series, because there were some blasters that it's a little tricky to get into or tricky to put back together.
Yeah.
But those are ones that I don't have any of them yet. I don't have a single one of those flip blasters. So I should probably put it on the list of ones to acquire for that series when I start doing it again, if it's particularly tricky. So
yeah,
good to know that they're tricky.
All righty. Well, thanks for answering the call anyway.
You're
Not a problem. Thanks for calling in again. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Apparently, Talon Armory will be the foam zone next week. For that matter, we could try to get them on this show. Or, we'll just carry on only getting people from the Pacific Northwest. We'll get out of darts here next time. Or something. All right. Looks like we got one caller, so let's get them on. We're getting close to Flux time. So what's that number again? 979-500-2794. Give us a call.
There we go.
Hey, it's Danny, thirsty for phone.
Danny, what's shaking, brother?
Hey, what's up, Al? Hey, Captain Xavier.
Yo.
So I got a question for each of you.
Right.
Kind of has to do with some of your hobbies or likes. So for Al, what is your favorite post-apocalyptic movie?
Favorite post-apocalyptic movie? Because of all the shoulder pads and the things, I want to say for the vehicles, for the armor, and for the scenery, it's got to be the Mad Max movies. Fury Road, I love the pickup truck. I love the variations on it, although the storyline was kind of meh, but I love that part of it. When it comes to like, Aliens, but that's not post-apocalyptic. That's a little more different. But then I think that's a good question. I got to think about that one, because first thing that comes to mind are the Mad Max movies, but it's more for the styling as opposed to the storyline.
Yeah, you can do sci-fi post-apocalyptic too, and it can be a little different.
That's what I'm kind of hoping
being
for.
Run down completely.
Yes, so I think anything that the xenomorphs have taken over and destroyed, I think I can make crazy things to fight that. So I think I can slip into that.
Oh, that would be nice. Xenomorphs on Earth. That would be kind of neat. They could pull that off. My
they cover that
question.
in the comic books, Earth War. There's a series, an Aliens comic, Earth War, where they do get to Earth and they take over Earth, and then we eventually take it.
And was it like a comic book series? I used to collect some of the Alien comic book series. And I think I do remember that, and I think I remember another one was Genocide, which was like different breeds of aliens attacking each other. That was a good one too.
The red and the black fighting each other.
Go, Danny. Hit him.
Wow,
hit
Aliens
with
versus
Xavier,
Terminator, Aliens versus Super.
Okay, so Captain Xavier. Everybody knows Captain Xavier loves Legos. So, do you have a favorite Lego game or one of the movies that have come out in the last decade or so?
No.
He loves them all equally. They're like children.
No, I've never played any of the video games, though I watched both of the Lego movies and loved them both because they were just ridiculous and fabulous and silly. I saw the first one while building a Lego set. It made me happy. Yeah. I can't say that I have a favorite. No. I definitely want to return to Legoland Deutschland. I was only there for 3 hours, and that was just not enough time. Did buy a lot of Lego.
I think that's all I have for you.
It's all the time you have. Get off my lawn.
Thanks, Danny. Those were good. I think two popped in my head. I think two popped in my head. The Judge Dredd landscape is a great place where the big crazy things I make would fit in well. And then the other one would be it just dropped out of my head. Actually, you know what? Terminator, but where it's like the Terminator where Skynet has already obliterated the planet.
Yeah. Like I was saying, they did all kinds of crossovers in the comics. They had Terminator versus RoboCop, Terminator versus Predator, Aliens versus Predator, obviously, Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator, Batman versus Predator, Batman versus Aliens, Superman versus Aliens. They did it all.
Did you say Predator?
Aliens versus Predator versus Terminator, yeah.
But wait. Did you say Predator?
I did. All right. We got no colors on the line, so we're going to get Dr. Flux in here a little bit early and give him some more time. So, welcome.
Let's do that.
Dr. Flux. The Nerf Crocs. I saw that those were a thing. No, apparently not.
Not yet.
No, Dr. Flux. No Flux early.
That's okay.
So
what we're gonna do?
Let's check
question. Yes, in the YouTube.
Yeah, let's check the comments. So somebody asked if we were gonna get the Nerf Crocs. I've never been tempted to buy Crocs more in my life than when the Nerf ones came out. Will armor building be covered on the Forge?
Yes, I think I have to. So I think there will be, where it's kind of like I run through how I make some shoulder pads. So yeah, there will be.
Okay.
What's that? The Forge?
Cool.
Somebody
asked about the Forge. Onboard ammo storage. Lego Viking Village. I have seen the Lego Viking Village. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I have seen it. It looks pretty cool. There you go. Yep, the Forge. What else do we have here? There's some sort of baseball bat blaster coming out. I vaguely saw it. I think it's. I don't know what it's themed.
I think it's all streamed from Stranger Things. Yes, even though my first thought is because of like The Walking Dead, but it's not The Walking Dead. It is Stranger Things. It is supposed to be pretty solid, and it shoots as well. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm gonna have to definitely get one of those because it's going to go along with some of the armor I have.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just the bat with nails in it is just a hilarious concept, and I assume it's going to be similar to the Mjolnir, where you prime it and then you fire it. I don't know if it's that or a hamper. How it activates, I have questions. I haven't looked into it because I've been asleep since I got back from Europe.
Well, apparently Flux has one, so I think maybe we should get him in here.
We should probably, if we can, if he's still around, if he hasn't wandered off.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Flux. Buddy, what's your
Dr. Flux.
Hello.
Get on here. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Flux. How we doing?
So you
We're good, brother. Glad to have you on the show. So for all those that don't know, which would probably be a remarkable small amount, but just in case people have no idea, who are you, what do you do, and why are you here?
I'm Dr. Flux. I like to build crazy Nerf mods and make content and I work here at Flux Labs. And yeah, it's pretty much it. I have YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Pretty much go to Google and just Google Dr. Flux and see me.
Actually, right off the bat, it's like he knew we were coming. He has something in his hand. Tell us what you got in your hand. What is that, dude? What is that, dude?
Yeah, so this is the Stranger Things. It's Primetime Toys. And you prime it like that. Put a dart in the end. And then you push this button here and it fires. But yeah, it's
just has a trigger.
Yep.
Apparently, there's a crazy echo coming from somebody at this point.
Oh, it's probably
everyone in the comments is going echo, 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 echo. Yeah, we heard you the first time, folks.
First time.
Flux, you're echoing. Explain yourself.
Is that
the
better?
nails, are they foam or what's their story? Could you hit somebody with that?
So these are kind of like a rubber type of, yeah, you can see it. They're rubbery. And then the actual bat it's kind of like a collapsible rubbery type of feel. It's not foam, but it has some give on it. But still, I don't think it's soft enough to actually tag people with this thing. So, unfortunately.
Good to know. Looks cool though.
Oh yeah, then the handle's kind of squishy too. But this part here is hard plastic.
Ah.
But yeah, definitely go good with like apocalyptic wasteland type of LARP. So I'm sure Al would like this.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't understand. I thought everyone wears stuff like this every day.
Post what? Post who?
It's another day in the office.
So I definitely got to buy a couple of those bats. All right, hold on. Let's get back on track. So then, Dr. Flux, basically, like everyone else, there are people probably that wonder how you ended up getting into the hobby. So why don't we start there? How did you get into the hobby, which actually then led you down the whole path that made you Dr. Flux?
Yeah, so it's probably a story that a lot of people can relate to. Essentially, I grew up with Nerf, squirt guns, laser tag, that kind of stuff. And I just kind of, you played with it as a kid. It was cool. And then kind of moved on, Well, it wasn't until about a few years ago. Yeah, it's about 3 years now, 3-4 years. I was at a Goodwill and there was a Nemesis in there. And I was like, what is this thing? I actually thought it was like a laser tag thing. I didn't even know what it was. So I was looking at it. I was like, wait, this thing shoots like little foam balls. And I was just like kind of, and it actually had the drop-in, rechargeable battery.
Nice.
And I was just kind of blown away as to how like advanced, foam flinging had become. And so I took it home and, had a lot of fun playing with it and everything. And from there, I was like, I want to make this thing hit harder, And so I opened it up and I, just like anyone else does, I go on to YouTube and start, searching around and like, oh, wow, look, there's an entire community that, mods Nerf blasters. And it just kind of spiraled out of control from there.
Yeah, it'll do that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what got me into
it. Then he discovered there's a bunch of us lunatics up here in the Pacific Northwest that weren't that handy.
That's how I got infected. Here I am.
That is how it goes. That's how it do.
Now, in terms of like for the Nerf community and stuff like that, this is not your full-time gig, correct? You have a full-time job like many of us do, and then do this in your part-time.
Yeah, so this is right at the moment, it's part-time. It would be amazing if I could make it full-time, but the money is not really there compared to what I do at my day job. So I work in IT, and if I can get this to make more than that, then possibly, but I think we're a little far off from right now. So yeah,
no, dude, that makes a lot of sense, I guess. So then the big question for you then is so you follow more like where myself and Captain Xavier do, where when it comes to like your reviews or what you put up on your screen, I'm guessing you have a little more flexibility in terms of picking what you want to do as opposed to like when it's your full-time gig. And we had this discussion last time with Wacom where it's kind of, because it's your full-time gig, you got to be more focused. Where here, because it is not your main source of revenue, it gives you more flexibility. So with that flexibility, what is it you tend to like enjoy doing most? Is it like new reviews, or is it like taking something and going, what crazy things can I do to this?
So the new reviews are always fun. And the whole thing with getting a new thing and reviewing it is it has a lot of, SEO. It has a lot of search power. So obviously getting the thing, reviewing it, it's really going to help like a channel with growth and all that. But I don't really, it's not like my passion. My passion is to take something that has released that has a problem or is old and kind of decrepit and falling apart and kind of messed up, and then modding it and bringing new life to it and making it something awesome, putting stuff together and making it a crazy thing. That's what I really love doing. So
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
What modding stuff?
It's kind of weird because so what happens is like we'll get these new releases, and a lot of people are kind of irritated with, I don't want to throw brands under the bus or anything, but there's been blasters that come out that maybe aren't the best thing. I actually get excited for those because I'm like, okay, how can I make that thing awesome? Just like, I don't know if you saw what Luchathor did with the Pixelator, where he made it like a 200 FPS monstrosity. Like stuff like that really gets me excited. Take something that is just not great and make it awesome. So
yeah, that was kind of what inspired the whole concept of I'd run that in a war back in the day. Is you take something that was absolute garbage, but you'd go, okay, what would I need to do to this to get it to the point where I could run it in a war? And it wasn't that. Oh yeah, no. I mean, if you ran it like this or you did this, and this. No, the original line where that line came from was, oh no, if you put a brass breech on that and then added this and put a stock on it and had the right tactical kit, I could run that in a war.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what makes modding fun is making something that isn't good better, or making something that is good even better. So what's that?
So as an example, you got the old Canon deal. Shove a rival cage in there, hook a proton pack hose to it.
Yep.
I'm hoping to get this done for RAG, but I'm having some issues with the size of it. But I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Who was it? Clowny Nerf shoved an XBZ in one of those, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a madman.
Demolisher rocket. Yeah, I've got one or two of those.
He had it because he brought it to Pennsylvania Survival Fest and he had it on his desk, and it's like, why have I not gotten these? These look so much fun. So yeah, that is so cool. So I guess then on the same vein, let's start with which blaster or which project that you, again, that same vein where you probably wanted to take it and make something great out of it, but was an epic failure, because we have all done that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of those. I got bins full of that stuff. I guess
we all do, but there's always one. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess there's one that many, and I'll just come out and, kind of put it out there because people probably think it's a great success, but it's that GL back there. It's the big giant Hamp Fortnite GL thing.
Right.
I wanted to make it good, so I basically attached a mag strike to it with a pump on it, and it would pressurize a tank, and then you could shoot the missiles. Because I didn't use a Titan tank, I used a mag strike tank. The elastic one. It just didn't have enough power to really launch those things. So I don't know. I feel like it looks amazing. It's huge and crazy looking, but doesn't perform how I want it to. So
yeah, you should talk to Dr. Pugh. He made one that's semi-automatic using HPA.
Yeah, Dr. Pugh is very talented. So
I still need to get him to teach me the ways of HPA. He's taught me the basics, but I still haven't actually learned enough to make it. Yeah, he made a semi-automatic Centurion, a semi-automatic Roto Fury, a semi-automatic
Crusher.
Fortnite
that
GL.
Crusher, the semi-auto, it's pneumatic. Oh, I love that thing.
Yeah, and his fully automatic the mini gun. I can't remember which one it is.
It's the Crusher.
Yeah, the Crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah. That thing's fantastic.
That is crazy. So then on the same token, because that's why I asked the worst one first. I didn't want to rain on the best one. Of all the ones you do, what's your favorite one, or the best one where it came out even bigger or better than you expected, or the one that just made you smile and go, I don't care what people think, this one just brings me joy?
That'd probably be the Prometheus. That thing. Because I did the big old flamethrower looking thing.
Yep.
I love that. The thing I ran at last Jared's Epic Blaster Battle.
Jared.
Yeah, it's just fun.
Something about something about a blaster that's beefy enough that it needs a support arm is just awesome.
Yeah, this is great. It's just so fun to just run it, and then hands free, just like, oh, I'm taking a break now.
Yep, just let go of it.
So then, for anyone that's watching and has no idea what he's talking about, it is something else that you got to see. It is a Prometheus. It is a backpack fed, and the backpack, that's the one you got from 3D printed solid, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And is that one of the bigger ones that he has? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The God.
No,
there's a God Hopper. The kit and the internal wiring. I actually, I just, because of time crunches and everything, I reached out to 3D printed solid, and he actually did a loom, so it has the brushless wheels, the controllers, the Arduino, like everything was all ready to go in a loom, and I just threw it in there. So yeah, he does really good work, really clean.
I remember that you posted about that loom, and yeah, that makes such a difference. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check out Dr. Flux at the and clips from Jared's epic Nerf battle. He is the large one with the ridiculous amount of ammunition, and I think it lost all 17 million rubber rounds that he brought that day. So
yeah, had to take out a small loan.
Yeah. That's the downside to Jared's epic Nerf battle. You do not get your ammo back.
Yeah. It was worth it though.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. So then now currently, is there any kind of secret project or something that you're working on that you don't mind talking about? Or
yeah.
Something at least. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So another thing is the Galahorn from Destiny. And when it came out, it looks really, really nice. It looks just like out of the game, except for the colors, of course. I mean, it would have been nice if they actually got it more in line with the colors. But the performance was not what it really should be for a rocket launching thing. Because in the game, it like does other crazy stuff like multiple projectiles. And so I've been working on, and Luchathor helped me out with this one, where it actually ejects up and accepts a 40 max shell. And so right now I'm trying to do a full cosplay more, where I'm painting it all and weathering it and making it look like right out of the game. And then it will then launch the 40 max, which, you can shoot your Mega, your XL, shotgun blast, whatever. So it's something I'm working on.
Excellent. Yeah, I finally got some of the 40 max shells. You gave me the blaster that fires them, but I still don't actually have any of the gas.
Oh, okay.
I have a compressor, and so I'm waiting for Silver Fox to get me the adapter so that I can just use an air compressor to pump it up instead of using green gas.
For events, that's good. For filming and content, I definitely recommend getting the green gas. People just get really excited when you see that big plume of. It's a blast. No pun intended. And we actually, if you don't mind, I can show something real quick.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Show off the thing. Show the thing.
So at Flux Labs, we just wrapped up this project. This is the Gambit, and it's this your standard 40 max shell launcher pistol. And we pretty much we took the outline of the the Nerf Fortnite flare, pretty much inspired by, and just made our own. We also tried to rework the trigger, so it's like, if you look, it's like really, really light. Like it's, because you fired the Mayday, the Mayday's pretty light, so we were trying to get it lighter. I think we did it, but yeah, I'll bring these to the warehouse thing and hand out some. Try to get, probably get you one if you want one.
Those things are super cool, brother. I like that. That is fun.
I do have a question for you guys, because I do a lot of 40 max here. What do you guys think about it? As you have kind of an ear on the ground for the hobby, accepting it, or are they kind of against it? And then if anyone wants to say something in the comment section.
There's been a lot of, the obvious controversy is, how do we make sure that it always hits the same amount every time you use it?
Yeah.
Because if you could put less gas into it when you go to chrono it, and then can put more gas in it when you actually take it into the field, or if it's inconsistent. There's no way to make sure it always hits the same. That's a problem for regulation and for safety and for all of that. As a concept, it's really cool. From a practical standpoint, it's not the most practical because you use it once and now you have to go fill it with gas again. So unless you've got 50 of them in a grenadier vest like I have, then you're going to run out real quick. But I've also seen it used in 5v5 and 3v3 in games, and just having that one-shot cloud of darts that can take someone out. In a 5v5, one shot taking out an enemy player, that's worth it. Having that one, dear God, let it go. That works because it's single elimination. In something like a Borst War where it's infinite lives, you're going to run out of 40 max shells long before it does you any good. But it's fun. It's the gimmicky thing that is just neat. The fact that you can use different ammo types, all in the same blaster, it's shell, it makes the big pop, the plume of smoke, like you said. The biggest concern is how do we make sure that it's safe and consistent, and that's why we were going to an air compressor where we can make sure they're always at this PSI, and we know that this PSI it's safe.
And do you know what PSI that was? Like 90 or what was it?
I don't remember, but that's why I need to get the adapter from Silver Fox so that I can play with it as well with different types of ammo and
that was going to be my neat question about you getting a compressor, because I have like 2 or 3 compressors instead of green gas. I don't own one yet, and I haven't seen too many of them local here. So, but I think Xavier's covered exactly what's going to be happening. I'm excited about it just because obviously with the I master key everything, just what's going to be coming out in terms of the launchers that you can undersling on so many things will be great. But I got to stop for a second because I almost forgot. So again, we are giving away the blaster. It is a Dart Zone Max Striker, and at this point now we're going to give you the winning statement. So Dr. Flux or Xavier, what is the winning statement that people need to put in the chat?
The phrase is Al the Geek is bald.
I wasn't going to say it. I'm getting there. I'm working on it.
So again, Al the Geek is bald is the phrase.
Al the Geek is bald. Put it in the YouTube chat. Make sure to put you can copy and paste it because we've already put it in there. Copy and paste it. You got to say it because later on in the show at near the end, we were going to pick a random winner from anyone that posts it. So again, Al the Geek is bald. This is the thing you're going to win. Don't forget to post it. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the worldfoamalliance.org, please. But then now, at this point, I think they're probably tired of us asking questions. And I'm pretty sure people want to ask Dr. Flux some questions.
Turn. Yeah, let's get a caller on here. 979-500-2794. Give us a call. Ask Dr. Flux a question. Hello?
Ooh, I'm shaking in my boots right now. Hello, it's Stevie Shoot Dark.
Hello.
Who are you? What are you? Steve
back,
again.
Steve. What do you got?
Ask Ella.
Hey, Fluxinator, the dude that creates absolute abominations that should not be considered Nerf, but is still super sick. How are you doing, my fellow Nerf content creator?
I'm doing good. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah. So, as a Nerf content creator, I'm always trying to improve. So, I'm wondering, what, in your opinion, do you think is the most important trait to have in being a content creator?
So number one is getting comfortable with the camera, because that's like the step. That's the first part that it's hard to get over, is just getting out there, and that happens through just continuously trying, getting out there, putting yourself out there, and doing it. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not comfortable, so that's like the number one. Number two, and I've heard this a lot, and I'm sure Xavier would also agree. Be your own person. Try to work on a character. Try to work on your own thing. You don't have to. You can emulate to some degree, and maybe emulate other people out there, but really be your own and let your own personality shine, because it will actually go further because you're genuine. So those are my two.
Thank you. That's actually really inspiring. I actually can't believe I'm talking to you, dude. Like, I'm meeting so many Nerf content creators. It's actually insane. The Nerf community is absolutely wild.
Oh, it's great. Best community.
We're a bunch of nerds and we
ever been with, for sure.
Any other questions?
If you keep calling in, Steve, we're gonna have to send you a bill. I'm kidding, buddy. Go ahead. What do you got?
No, it's good. It's good.
What do you got?
So obviously you created many things. So what do you think, or out of all the blasters that you've improved, what do you think is the most improvement you've ever made in a blaster?
What? I'm sorry. What's the
biggest improvement you've made to a blaster?
Oh, okay. Well, so it depends on like what the project is, because sometimes you're just going for looks and functionality, or sometimes you're just going for performance, and it just really depends on what your goal is. So a lot of people can relate to taking a thing that's not a good performer and making it really good. So I'd probably say something like maybe a long shot or a long strike, you know.
Pretty good.
What happened?
His time ran out. He got kicked off the line.
Sorry.
So did Flux. Flux wandered off. Come
That's
back.
Right.
I'm gone.
Apparently it was time for Flux to get off our lawn now. There he is.
Oh, wait.
He's back.
Oh, man. The wrong person.
Did we lose connection?
No, wait, I got you. We're good.
What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe internet? Did I lose connection?
Could be.
Today.
Well,
Man
hold on
behind
one
the
second.
curtain poked a button. Who knows what's
That's
going on
why.
anymore.
So just a reminder, everyone in the chat, if you want to win this blaster, and you don't have to, it's not like every time you enter it, you just put it once. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter if you enter the statement once or 27 times, it's only one entry. And the entry statement is Al the Geek is bald. Make sure to put it in the YouTube chat. Al the Geek is bald. And then that's how we randomly select who will win this thing right here. So again, worldfoamalliance.org. Don't forget to register. Don't forget to put Al the Geek is bald, and you can win this. Now, next caller, who do we got?
Spamming the chat will get you revoked. Yeah, let's get a caller.
Oh, hello. This
Hello.
is a question for basically all of you, and my question is this: what was something that like you had basically that you basically never used, and then found out, and you just gave it away. Then found out a few years later that was basically something that you shouldn't give away because found out that you had to use it in that situation.
I actually
talking
have
about
one.
like a blaster?
Yeah, yes. I've actually got one.
Like
there was one somebody sent me.
Something like that.
Somebody mailed me a Supermax disc launcher back when I was still living in Tacoma, and I hadn't started my vintage Nerf collection. And I gave it to the Nerf curator because he didn't have that particular one. And then I moved down here and I started my massive vintage collection, and I didn't have that Supermax disc shooter anymore. And it took me a while to get my hands on another one.
For me, I had and this is when I first got into it, and I had no idea. It was a whiteout long strike, and it was just a barrel, but I did paint it up and use it for something else, but it was kind of beaten. Since then, I have made amends, and I do have one now, but that was also a while ago before I knew what was going on. What about you, Flux?
Mine would probably be it's that Fortnite drum gun looking Tommy gun thing. And yeah, I gave that one away, and I really wish I still had it. So I'm probably going to build it again. But I essentially took that Fortnite, drum Tommy gun looking thing, and I merged it with a Busby. What was that cylinder? It was a flywheeler, but it's a big Busby thing with the big cylinder on it. Power Mac or something. But yeah, so I gave that one away.
Power Mac or like Tommy 20.
Yeah, something like that. And I kind of merged them together. It's a really cool build, but I gave it away. I kind of wish I had that one back.
The one that I ideally missed the most was a battle. It was like a battle mace, so it was something like that. And I just never used it. But now since I go to like a lot of like local games and HVZs, I ideally wish I had that. And I've been trying to find one for like 2 years now. And I just can't find one anywhere. It just like pains me because I could just use it like one more time. It would be so fun because that thing was very durable.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people use them to great effect. I don't have one and kind of wish I did.
Yeah, I might have one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that thing was such a good melee weapon when I had it, though.
There's something else I had, and I can't remember.
I don't know how much.
Go ahead. What else you got,
left,
buddy?
Though, but
quick.
You got
8
10
seconds. Go.
Let's go, my dude. 10 seconds. 5. 2.
What?
Get off my lawn. No. We lost Flux again. Every time I kick someone off the lawn, Flux goes with him. Flux.
I didn't do it.
Wrench. Nope, you're back.
Maybe it's set up where Flux sees him out the door and then comes back in. That's why.
Yeah. I walk him to the parking lot.
Flux is the doorman. Flux, see this person out.
Yeah.
All right, I think we got another caller. Let's see. We got somebody? The number to call is 979-500-2794. Hi, you're on Get Off My Lawn.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thomas, aka Brother Seeger.
Brother Seeger, welcome back, dude. How are you?
Yo.
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. How about y'all?
Doing good.
Too early to tell. Tired. Jet lag, man.
I feel that one. I'm tired from work. So, I believe we're all 3D printers here. Am I correct? I know Flux and I know Al. I know you guys have printers. Xavier, do you print as well?
Oh yeah, I've got 7 or 8 of them now.
Cool. So my question kind of relates here is, what's your favorite printer and also your favorite, your favorite filament brand?
Oh,
so I use Hatchbox filament.
Yep.
Because that's what was recommended to me by Out of Darts when I bought my printers from him. The printer that I use the most is a FlashForge Creator Pro that I got from Out of Darts. He was upgrading his whole printer farm and was selling off all his old ones, so I got it for a whistle and a dance. And I've never had to tweak it since I got it. It just works. Everything was all set up. Everything was tuned by Out of Darts, and he'd been using it as a production model. So I throw Hatchbox stuff in it. I poke the button, stuff comes out. It's fabulous.
For me, I changed
Flux,
out. I had Ender 5s.
Ones, right?
Oh yeah. Let me put mine in quick, and then Flux, because he prints probably more and better stuff than we do. For me, I had Ender 5s, and then I got a Bamboo, and now my Ender 5s collect dust, and I love the Bamboo, and I'm gonna buy more. And I just use Overture and sometimes Hatchbox. And again, the Bamboo, for me, it's like fire and forget. It just makes my life so much easier. Anyways, Flux, go, you dude.
Yeah, I mean, Bamboos. So little bit about myself. I started 3D printing way before Nerf, and I actually, and this is a part of like why I have stuck with Nerf, is because I looked for a hobby that would kind of go with 3D printing, because I love 3D printing passion, and so I had the early, like the first versions of the Prusa, back when the Mendel and like really like early rep wrap stuff. So we've come a long way. And from all the years of just tinkering with printers and just all the countless hours, after getting the Bamboo, I'm just like, yeah, I don't feel like doing all this, bed leveling and adjustments and tinkering and messing with it. And so the Bamboo just does it all for you. Because I don't know if you guys know, so it's AI driven. Like they've actually used AI in it. They have like a LiDAR that actually looks at the filament line and it'll adjust. Like it's amazing. So I'm really sold on the Bamboo right now. We've run them a lot. We have 4 units. That's the X1 carbon, with all the multi-filament heads on them, or the big the thing up the top that does 4 different filaments.
Yep.
And yeah, as far as filament, probably Hatchbox right now because it fits. That is one thing I'm not crazy about the Bamboos with the multi-color filament thing at the top, is it doesn't accept all the different spools because it's a little bit tight. It doesn't like cardboard spools. It doesn't like really wide spools. But if I were to pick one, it would be Atomic and Prusa Mint. Those are my 2 like really favorite, consistent, because you want a filament that's going to be like, just consistent, like, because it's quality control, and they seem to have really good quality control.
Yeah, that Bamboo, man, when I plugged it in, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Just because it might be age or whatever it is. It's like just having to tinker with so many things, having the time or the patience to do it. It drives you nuts. And it's just, I think it was Maritime Foam when he first got one and he told me about it. And the first words out of his mouth when I asked how was it, he said, "You will never use your Enders again. You might as well sell them now."
Yeah. Oh, I had Enders, by the way. I had Ender 3 Pros. I had CR10s. Yep. Man, I've dumped so many hours, like crazy amounts of hours in those things, and never really got the prints I wanted. You know,
yeah,
there's always some artifact, something that irritated me.
Oh, it is, and like so, I have the P1P, and it takes everything on the back, and the fact that anything I put in it, and I put Hatchbox, Overture, I had some other random brand that would jam the Ender, and it feeds it beautifully. I love the way it stops mid print if you run out and it waits. It just makes everything so much easier.
A big one. Especially for you because you're doing like the large prints. That just saves so much headache.
Oh, it really is. So yeah, it is the the bamboo. Maybe we should call Bamboo and tell them, hey man, we will push your stuff. Send us money because we're doing it anyway. Or send us more of yours.
The new Mini, the new Mini that they're launching. I don't
think it's available. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, it's just it looks like the Prusa Mini, only it's bamboo, and it has like a little side unit that can feed multi-filament.
Nice. I need to start saving up for a bamboo. Everyone I've heard they're wonderful, and I want to be able to do multicolor prints. So, does it have any issue printing TPU?
To be honest, I have not tried TPU in it, and I think it might be a problem. I'm not sure, but we just don't do much TPU here.
I didn't even have to change the settings on my Flash Forge to be able to print TPU. I use the exact same settings I use for PLA in it, and it works just fine. So, be nice to know. What I want to be able to print in multicolor are patches. So
yeah, okay, yeah. The other thing too is these are if you get a lot of the bamboos are enclosed, so and you kind of need that for TPU. You need a enclosed printer.
Do you?
It just helps because it helps regulate the temperature inside as it's printing.
Cool.
Mine is not an enclosed one, but then again, I'm just doing it in the PLA. But just give me 1 second, gentlemen. Just again to remind you, I will be giving this away. If you haven't entered, put in the chat, Al the Geek is bald.
Al the Geek is bald.
It costs you nothing. I am bald, and I will be mailing this to you. Last week's winner, I finally got it mailed out today. So it is on its way to Georgia. So do not think I'm kidding. I do mail these out. It's just a little patience because, full-time job, social media, running an Etsy store, married and house stuff. Yeah, finding time in the day. And I like sleep. Sleep is apparently good too, but I will be sending this out to you. So again, in the chat, don't forget to put Al the Geek is bald. We will be giving it away shortly where you just got to enter it once, and then we will have a random program that selects a winner, and you win this. And then also, just a reminder, if you haven't already, worldfoamalliance.org, go ahead and register. The site will be going live in January. Actually, hey, Flux, what do you think about the world? So when you heard that a bunch of crazy old dudes have decided to create the worldfoamalliance.org, what's the first thing that popped into your head? And do you have any follow-up questions as a result of it?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really know what was going on. I was like trying to figure it out. I'm like, oh, what is this? Because I mean, typically, like I try to keep my finger on the pulse with a lot of stuff in the hobby and content creators and whatnot. So I had to dig a little bit. And I'm like, okay, it makes sense. I mean, the idea of offering a one place for new people in the hobby to come and get some information and get them started, I think is a really good idea. And because that's what you're doing is like having a network of people that are looking for clubs and whatnot. I could be wrong.
Yep, no, that's definitely a big part of it is being a place where people who don't know about the hobby, because I mean, we're never going to out Facebook or out Discord for like established clubs and the big events and stuff like that. Yeah. But for people who don't know where any of that is, it's kind of hard to find it.
And I can attest that because I didn't know. I was fortunate to be here in the Pacific Northwest and all you crazy people,
Yeah.
But if I was inland or on somewhere else, like, I mean, how would I find a group? You usually have to turn to Facebook, and just kind of try to find something.
And quite often, if you don't know what the group is called, you wouldn't even know what to look for. If you looked for Nerf Club in the Pacific Northwest, like just went to Facebook and put in Nerf Club, Seattle Nerf Club, you might not find the Panic website or the Facebook group because we're the Pacific Northwest Nerf Club, not the Seattle Nerf Club or the Vancouver Nerf Club. And so, yeah, having a place where that's more easily accessible. Dart Zone IO is also doing the same thing. They got started a little bit before we did, so there's some overlap there. But yeah, the idea is to help people from the outside get in. We're trying to grow the hobby to more people. Because right now, half the time, the only way people find about it is they happen to be passing through Fort Borst on a weekend that we're having a war.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not a great way to. Yeah, that's not a great way to. We're lousy at advertising. The whole hobby is. We always have been because we're a bunch of nerds.
Part of it is also so it's not just the connecting, because once you have that centralized place, then it's also providing tools. So like one of the things that the worldfoamalliance.org website is going to do is that, I can't remember the name of the program exactly, but basically they're going to be tools for different, actually for people and for clubs. For clubs, it'll be a way to actually sell tickets. It'll be a way to fundraise. It'll be a way to communicate with one another, to know like we're doing this, we're doing that in terms of calendars and everything else. But also on the same token, if you're in an area and realize, hey, I got a bunch of people here, but we don't have a club, the worldfoamalliance.org website will actually provide you tools and kind of guides in terms of what you need to consider, what you have to get, and actually like everything, even there will be actual options. And again, this isn't finalized yet. When the website goes fully live January 1st, there will be more announcements about it and information where you will actually be able to find out about the necessity of getting insurance, what you need to get venues, things like that, that obviously a lot of people that started the clubs had no idea what to do and had to you really had to want it and strive to find it, which many clubs are finding difficult. So by providing that tool set, people can go out and do it. And then also the other big things that are going to be, they're going to be an options for donations. They're going to be options for auctions, and yeah, tickets I had mentioned. So these are all things that we want to push through it. At the same time, also, if you have this large conglomerate, I can speak, I swear, some days, of everyone in the hobby, because again, how many, Xavier, do you remember how many blasters are sold globally between all the brands? What is it, 70 million a year?
Something like that, yeah.
You get 70 million blasters sold
is the second
globally.
largest hobby after Lego, so it's huge.
So there are so many people out there that are sitting there and they can play with them in their basements or their backyards, but given the opportunity, because so many people have no idea that, oh wow, you mean I can actually show up with other people like-minded and go have fun with it. So that was kind of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So then I'm going on a what else it is. Do you have any other questions in terms of what's come out of my mouth?
That's a very common comment I get on the short form videos, stuff that gets millions and millions of views. Like you have a lot of the people saying like, what is this? There's people that modify Nerf guns, and yeah, a lot of people are just never even thought of it or exposed to it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then the idea of that there's probably a club in their town or within driving distance that they just don't know exists. We're also hoping to get sponsors, because if we can get the big companies to get behind this, if one person if you get a Nerf blaster for Christmas, you play with it, you get bored with it, that's it. If you had somewhere to go and play with it, you would go buy more. I mean, how that works down the rabbit hole of when you actually have something to do with it. It makes it so much better when you have other people to play with, when you've got competition.
That's why I stuck around.
That's going to make you want to get more and more and more. And so it's in their best interest to help grow the hobby. And it's kind of weird that none of them have really gotten fully behind that. Like, the goal would be to one day have worldfoamalliance.org on the packaging of blasters.
That'd be awesome.
In their advertisements, go to the World Foam Alliance, find where you can play, find the club near you, get involved. Because not only will that help us, but it will be the single greatest marketing thing for them if people actually have somewhere to go and play. So we're also wanting to host big events. So they want to host, a massive tournament, big HVZs, 5v5 tournaments with prizes and all of that. The thing with Foam Pro Tour tried it, and World or Blaster Tag Association and similar things make those make it into more of a legitimate sport, which is we've been slowly building towards that the last couple of years, but it hasn't quite taken off yet. So that's another large thing. But building the community is the biggest part.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what we're at. Hey, we got a caller. Someone wants to call in and talk to us. What a weirdo. 979-500-2794. Welcome to Get Off My Lawn. What do you want?
Oh, well, hey, just got not too long ago. I was wondering, what was like one of your like best thrift finds that ever happened? Because not too long ago, I found a Retaliator box, which I was honestly going to pass up on because I already have too many of them. So I looked inside of it, and it turned out to be a full Lumitron with all of the glowing discs inside of it.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thrift find. We found an Ultimator at a thrift shop. And a Mazooka.
Wow.
On the same trip, I think.
Oh, that's lucky.
Flux, what have you found?
Did they have the missiles in it too?
No missiles, but I've got the means to make them. Flux, what about you? What's your best find?
Probably, I was with Walcom and we found a Sentinel at a Goodwill.
Ooh.
That was a pretty good find.
Those are nice.
And Dude Perfect bow. I mean, those are kind of rare. Never really want to use one.
So the Goodwills around me suck. So I barely find a ubiquitous Maverick. Never mind anything else.
Yeah,
but
it's so weird for me because I cannot find a Nightfinder nor Maverick at my local Goodwills, but I find like a Lumitron or a Praxis. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Then I've been trying to do an integration for a Nightfinder and a Maverick ever since like 6 months.
However, so I guess you can classify it as a thrift find, but it was through Facebook Marketplace. And again, to make up for that first whiteout long strike half that I painted, I did acquire a Nerf whiteout long strike through a Facebook. No, it was a Craigslist ad. It was a Craigslist ad, and it was part of a bundle where I think it was like $40 for 10 blasters, and in it was also a whiteout long strike. So yeah, man.
That's a good find.
That definitely counts as thrift. Yeah. In my opinion.
Fair enough, but a great find.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
I mean, that's really all I got.
Well, thanks for calling, buddy, and get off my lawn. There is something I wanted to comment because we did have someone ask in the chat, and if with sponsors, when we get sponsors, are they going to dictate what we do? And this is a great question, and this is our answer. We're a bunch of grumpy old men, and the three of us right here are great examples. We all have full-time gigs and do this for fun. We've all jumped on the World Foam Alliance, and we're all not getting paid anything. Why? Because we want to grow this hobby. We want to make it happen. I'm sure at some point there will probably be some kind of monetary thing that we get, but that's not the point. The point being is that creating a centralized place where people can find everything. And yeah, we want to do sponsors, but we're not going to sell our souls. This is not going to be Nerf brought to you by, so the World Foam Alliance brought to you by Nerf or brought to you by Dart Zone. We realize that by selling out that high, you can probably get a lot of money, but that's not what this is. That's not what this is built on. You can sponsor, but when you sponsor, we still call the shots. And if you don't like it, that's fine. Take your money and throw it at someone else. That's not how we're going to do this. We have enough faith in the way this is going to be built, the system, and the fact that there are so many of you out there that by sheer numbers, if you go out and register, you get, and everyone else comes to register, and this keeps growing, we become the entity where we get to dictate what we do, and not you telling us, well, no, right now you're going to push this crappy blaster. Like example, last thing we need is Nerf to sponsor us and tell to you that the Nerf Elite 2.0 line is the best thing ever, yet it's all crap. So, yeah.
That was one of the reasons I was willing to get behind all of this was the people that they got on board. None of them were full-time professional Nerf tubers. I knew, Al the Geek, Dart Sweep, Maritime Foam, and then they reached out to me, and it was, all of us are doing this for fun. We're all doing it for the growth of the hobby. We're not doing it to make ourselves famous or make ourselves rich. And that was important to me, that that it didn't turn into, shilling for one company or another, whether it be Dart Zone or Hasbro or whatever. The idea is to make something that's valuable to them rather than them coming to us with something that's valuable for us, that makes us want to do what they say. It's the other way around of, we've built something that is good for you. Do you want to be a part of it? They can sponsor a team during the tournament. They could sponsor an event, but at no point will they become the official sponsors of the World Foam Alliance, because we don't want official sponsors, because then it's just associated with them. Kind of what happened to Jared's Epic Nerf Battle when he became, when Nerf got on board, it became Nerf's Blaster Battle, and he didn't like that, and that's why they're not involved, or part of why they're not involved anymore. Yeah, so it's something we are aware of, something that we are, careful of. We're going to be careful of. Hopefully, we'll see how it turns out. But, all right, we got a caller. Somebody wants to talk.
Refreshing to hear, though.
What?
I said that's refreshing to hear.
Yeah, well, I was going to say 979-527-94. Who are you?
I was gonna say, Flux. Well, 1 second. This kind of links back to exactly what you said when in terms of creating content and being genuine.
Yeah.
And that there's just so much to that. So anyway, sorry. Next caller.
Time, Al.
Well, who is this? And I'll write you. It's
Danny,
an IOU.
thirsty for foam again.
Fine, Danny. Go. I'll owe you, brother. What do you got? Go.
I had to call back. Dr. Flux is on. I had to call back, and I'm awake still. So
hello.
I had a question for Dr. Flux. I hope somebody didn't already ask this, because I kind of went away for a little while. But what influenced your color scheme that you seem to prefer? Was the bright yellows and pinks, and how did your persona come about to be Dr. Flux?
Oh, I like this question.
Yeah. So no, it's a good question, and thanks for calling in. So really, at the beginning, I was just like really into, making the blasters look like toys. And I love the old 90s, color schemes and the old kind of real crazy looking blasters that, that I remember as a kid. And I played around with different, I knew it had to have some more fluorescence than just the orange. And so I kind of played around with some different colors, hot. And I don't know, something about the hot pink with the black and the neon yellow just looked really good. And I was like, kind of leaned into it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But
wait, but the Dr. Flux name, where'd that come with the lab coat and everything?
Oh, Dr. Flux. Yeah, sorry. So that's just that's been my online handle for about over a decade. It started probably back maybe Minecraft days because of Redstone
video game Minecraft.
Yeah, I played. And this is like way back when it was like in a browser, because they had like it was launched in a browser, and then it went into survival mode, and they introduced this the Redstone stuff, and I was like, well, I like messing with the circuits, and I made a character called Dr. Flux. This kind of went from there.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And thank you guys for doing this. I think the stream's awesome. Thanks for having the guests and doing this, guys.
By the way, Danny, before you jump off, in case nobody has seen it, go check out Thirsty for Foam. Danny does some wicked mobs. He hates painting, but in terms of internals, in terms of what he has done with stripes with band cages, don't forget to go check him out. Danny, plug yourself. Where can they find you?
Day.
Go ahead, plug yourself, buddy.
On YouTube, Thirsty for Foam. It's Thirsty spelled with U instead of I, and number 4 Foam. Thirsty for Foam. I'm all over Facebook too. I'll post stuff.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Gotta visit. See ya.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Thirsty now, before we get
hey, there we are.
That's it. Before we get another caller, Andrew, if you're listening, call in. I got questions for you, buddy. Dart Sweep, make the phone call, please.
Dart Sweep, show up. You out there? He's wandered up. He's not even here.
He probably has. I tell you.
Why would he want the stream? I'm being stalked. Swamp Cat wants attention.
I tell you.
All right.
So
don't forget the giveaway. One last time. Al the Geek is bald. Comment it in the YouTube comments to enter to win the blaster that Al the Geek is currently carrying, holding, showing off. We will figure out how to get a hold of you. He's editing. He probably is video editing. Al the Geek is bald. Spelling and punctuation counts. There is no punctuation. And you could win this blaster. You need to have some way for us to get a hold of you, so register on the World Foam Alliance so that you can have your email address registered there. Give us your username, and we can look you up, or through the Discord, whichever, just so that there's a way that we can get a hold of you and get your mailing address so we can mail it to you, because otherwise we're going to put it in a box, put $20 on it, and wish it the best of luck.
Exactly. Actually, since we got you here, Dr. Flux, this is an idea we've had, and you don't have to commit to it yet. But part of it is like, actually, yeah, you'd probably be like this. So around Christmas time, it's always fun to do stuff. So what we're going to probably do at the World Foam Alliance is we're thinking about obviously doing something charitable, where we're going to do a stream where we're going to probably be doing a giveaway. We haven't exactly picked what we're going to do. It might be involved with what Clowny does and trying to push that. But if we're to do something like that, I guess two questions. One, do you have any suggestions what would probably work? And two, if you have time, would you have any interest in possibly either telling it on and say, no, I'm going to jump in with you guys?
Yeah. So like I try to do Christmas stuff, every year. I've sent boxes of stuff to Clowny to hand out, and try to do, Tagmas, and yeah, I'm really down for any type of, holiday type of content. So yeah, we can brainstorm later about it. But
we had thoughts for doing a 12-hour stream with as many streamers we can get, doing 2-hour shifts alternating. So you're on for an hour with the person who was before you and an hour with the person who'll be after you, and so there's variety, and you wouldn't need that many people. We don't want to do a 24-hour stream. We're all old men. That sounds tedious. Tyler94 has won the blaster.
Woo!
Woo! Congratulations,
Tyler 94. Congratulations.
Whoever you are.
So then, what is it that I'll let you tell it, because my brain is mush right now. What is it that Clowny does every Christmas, and how is it you participate in it?
So he just does. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so he'll do like a giveaway, and he'll take in, various people will send stuff in to him, and then he'll I don't know if it's raffle, or he does something to where people can win, or get the gifts. I can't remember exactly what it is, if it's a raffle or something like that, but yeah, I know people will send stuff in, maybe like content creators or people who run shops and that kind of stuff, and then he'll give it out for the holidays.
The way it works, I'm pretty sure.
You have to donate something to like Toys for Tots.
That's what it is.
And that's how you get entered.
Yep. Every time you donate, you get a chance to win. So a cool, whatever.
Yeah, something made by us, signed by us, or just given by us. So yeah, we want to help with that. Possibly help with that, make that part of the stream, or do something entirely separate. We're not sure which, but we want to do something for the holidays. I'm being accosted by a swamp cat. She is a fiend. She probably wants either to be let out or wants food, but she's assaulted.
Xavier, I can't help to notice the cat has now moved inside the house. So I remember before.
Oh, she's been inside the house for a while now.
Oh.
Which
before they had the
luckily
bush.
She is still. Yeah, she used to be. She was a swamp cat, and that was the whole point. Is I wanted a cat. I wanted a shop cat, is what I wanted, to keep the vermin out of my workshop. And so I started putting food in the shop, and she was the one that took the bait. And then eventually she decided that the house looked warmer. Luckily, she is still very much a semi-feral cat. So when I go away for a week, I can just leave her outside and she'll survive. Because she will still bring me snakes when she goes hunting, won't you, madam? And she's very proud of herself when she brings me a snake.
Nice. All right, hold on. Two things.
I've seen a noticeable dip in spiders in my house, and I finally figured out why, because she eats them.
Oh, cool.
All right, hold on.
Big old house spiders. She just yum.
First thing.
Apparently, we got a caller. We got a caller. We have a caller.
We do, but also shout out to American Foam.
$27.94. What?
American Foam is going to jump in on our Christmas thing too, so this is awesome. There's going to be a bunch of us. Going to be fun. But yeah, next caller. Let's go. Who do we got?
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
I think I'm on. Am I on?
You're on. Who are you?
This is Ursa Major. Josh.
Josh, what's shaking, brother? How are you, dude?
I am fucking exhausted, pardon the French. This is a question for all three of you. While I've got some time, I'll make it quick.
You got the kiddies to bed, thankfully. Go ahead, dude. What do you got?
Yeah, thank God, finally. So, if the three of you could own any kind of fantasy power armor, say from Fallout or Warhammer or what have you, what would it be and why? For me personally, Fallout 4's Exo-1. I think it just looks awesome. It's big and beefy, and I love it.
I'll go first.
Go.
Grey Knight's power armor. You know the Grey Knights from 40K universe?
Yeah.
I think I would go with Terminator armor.
Ooh.
40K Terminator armor.
It's hard to beat Terminator.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Although it'd probably be some kind of bastardized.
The Raider power armor from Fallout.
There we go. I didn't know what
that
that
would
is,
probably
but
match you pretty well.
Which I don't think is actual power armor, but it's a bunch of parts of power armor kind of strung together.
It's like street signs welded onto a frame. It works. That's Al.
Yeah.
It's got Al written all over it.
I would
welded
do a
onto it, I should say.
I'd do a bastardized Mandalorian armor, much like that one up there.
Across between Mandalorian, like Iron Man armor. There you go.
Yeah, some kind of post-apocalyptic
so
crazy
cool.
Mando armor.
That would look so cool.
Definitely. Ursa, what are you working on? Tell us about the big thing you're making now.
I'm plugging away on the jug suit, man. It is kicking my butt, but I'm getting some work in on that. I'm hopefully going to have some videos up on that soon on my TikTok. And then I've got some stuff on the Behemoth I'm working on. I'm going to revisit that over barrel Ragefire mod I teased a while back eventually, but we'll see what happens.
Sounds spicy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Flux, if you don't know Ursa also has a large suit of armor, a little different from yours, but it's also big and ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, it's all EVA foam, unlike your 3D printed like Halo-esque armor. Mine's all janky.
That's cool though.
Ain't nothing wrong with jank. Embrace the jank.
No.
Live the jank.
No, I mean I've accepted it pretty.
Oh, he's off the lawn, but yeah, that was Ursa Major. You can find him on TikTok, and yeah, he does some cool stuff.
Feel like I've seen some. I'll have to take a look.
You probably have, absolutely.
Hey.
All right, so basically,
Tyler, 94, we need an email address. You either need to join the World Foam Alliance and give us your email address through there, or send an email or something. We need to get a hold of you. Otherwise, we can't give you the thing.
Yes.
Like I said, we'll slot $20 on it, give it to the postman, say pick a place at random, and hope for the best.
Absolutely. So again, just a reminder, everyone, if you haven't, go to worldfoamalliance.org and register. Also, again, we will be having another episode of Get Off My Lawn, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. We do have a couple of people in mind. We will be confirming that soon. Also coming up next Wednesday will be the Foam Zone. And Foam Zone will actually have Talon Axe Armory on. If you don't know who Talon Axe Armory is, I actually met him in Pennsylvania Survival Fest. Good dude, man. I like what they do, and they're nice guys. That'll be this Wednesday, Foam Zone. Also, tomorrow will be the next episode of The Forge. So every other Thursday, Captain Xavier has the range. The range where
tomorrow, the range.
Tell and remind people how they can pick out what you shoot at on the range.
Through Discord. So in each episode, I'll be firing a blasters or like a blaster series or an ammo type that you guys get to pick. And then after that, there will be a survey that you guys get to choose. What do I mess around with in the next episode? So it'll probably usually be a primary ammo type. So like rifle, half darts, full darts, mega. And then the second one will be an obscure ammo type, Titan rockets or Demolisher rockets or Mega XL or old Mega or something like that. Or it might be an old series. So I'll bring out all of an old vintage series or something. Like the Cyber Strike or the Max Force or whatever. Yeah, you guys get to pick what I do. If you have stuff you really want to see, you're welcome to put it in the comments of the video. We'll take a look at it. If it's something like, oh yeah, that is a good idea, I should add that, maybe I will. Yeah, and also looking for suggestions for what to add to the range. I want more reactive targets. I got a Texas Star, and it's actually working out surprisingly well. I thought it was going to be too small to hit, but at like 20 feet, I can hit it with the accurate blasters. But I'm looking for more ideas of what I can put, and it needs to be real durable because I'm just going to leave them out in the elements forever. So they need to be, metal or plastic or not stuff. Obviously electronic ones are just not going to work because I live in the damp. I live in a rainforest. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm doing it on my channel for a while, but I wanted to bring back the surveys, and I decided that the World Foam Alliance was the best place to do that so that we can, because more interaction, being involved in the stuff, helping me decide what I'm going to do, helps with the community. That's the joy of a community, is having people pick stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Cool. Tyler94 has registered, so if you can give us what your username is, we can get your email address and get you your blaster.
Absolutely. Dr. Flux, how about you? What's going on, man? Any final thoughts? Anything you want to share with everybody?
I actually learned a little bit from being on here, so thanks for all the good information, and yeah, I like what you guys are doing, and look forward to seeing more for World Foam Alliance. And,
yeah,
you'll get to meet
Al the Geek. You'll get to meet Al the Geek in person at the end of October at my event. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to doing more collaborations in the future.
For sure.
I enjoy doing collaborations.
So I think we can drop a hint, even though we have nothing officially formal. But let's face it, there'll be enough of us in the same place, and if I flew my ass out there, we're going to be filming or doing something live. It will be impromptu. We'll try to give you as much notice as possible, but it will be fun, guaranteed. And we're going to try to put as many of us in the same place as possible. And then who knows? We might talk to you. Maybe we'll just talk amongst ourselves and let you listen in. We will sort it out, but definitely.
We definitely won't be doing it here because I've got lousy internet. So we will be trucking somewhere else, crashing someone else's space, and running amok. Maybe we'll go up to Flux Labs and kick the door in. Maybe we'll go somewhere else.
That's what it's for.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So,
dude, that'll be fun, man. Yeah, if he lets us in, yes, please.
Got a 50-foot indoor range.
Yes, please. All right, with that, again, everyone, thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, well, you know what it is because you're here, so like and subscribe, worldfoamalliance.org. Don't forget to subscribe to that as well. Again, you know what's coming up. Foam Zone's coming next. Dr. Flux, thanks again, buddy, for having you on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been so much fun. Before we sign off, tell everyone where they can find you.
So we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Dr. Flux, flux.official on TikTok. It's just, Google Dr. Flux. You'll see me.
There it is. Oh, and one last question, just because I have to ask because it's local. Are there chances that you're going to make it to Maryland Mayhem next year?
Next year, possibly. I really want to go. So I just need to see how schedules pan out and work and getting leave and all that stuff. But yes, I definitely want to go.
We will take that as a yes, and let's hope that the forces of nature allow that. But yeah. I get it, work and everything else. This is why I can't make it to RAG, so I totally get it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, everyone, this is Al the Geek saying thank you to everyone. We'll see you our next episode in 2 weeks. Chelo?
I'm Captain Xavier. Get off my lawn.